Hi, my name is Pamela Mpishi. Today I want to give you just one tool. Some people would call it a trick, but I don't call it a trick. I call it a tool that you can implement to make sure that you get your Boaz. To make sure that that man you get, you will be to him the way Rachel was to Jacob. Not for the first 5 years of your relationship, not for 10 years, not for 20 years, but for the rest of your life. I'm going to give you a tool that every woman now in this generation of technology should implement, because we have lost that mystery that should exist between a man and a woman. Because of technology, people are in contact with each other 24/7, and man is a hunter. I want to tell you right now that man has been created to hunt. He's just wired like that. That is why years after man did not need to hunt anymore, he turned hunting into a sport. I'm giving you this tip because I implemented it, and next February 2020, I am going to be blissfully married to my husband for 19 years. And you know, my daughters, I've got 3 daughters. They see my videos, and they will be able to tell you that my husband loves me more today than even loved me probably the first day that we met. My kids, my daughters are always saying, Mommy, it's going to be so hard for us to find a man because we're always going to be looking for a man who loves the way Daddy loves you. It's probably going to be very hard, but it's not hard. As long as you use this tool that I am going to give you, it's not going to be hard. Like I told you, I was saying before, nowadays we don't have time to be absent from each other. Abstinence from each other is something that's just impossible, but it's necessary in the dating game. That's why in this channel I teach you the classic way of dating, because man has evolved in so many things. The fact that a man feels a sense of power, a sense of gratification, a sense of purpose, a sense of achievement even when he has hunted down that woman who seemed impossible to get. Now, I'm going to teach you a way that you can get that man who even seems completely out of your league. When I met my husband, he was fresh out of university, fresh on the business scene. He was blonde, blue-eyed, well-educated, the new kid on the block in the oil industry, surrounded by other females, kids who had come also from the same uni as him, from the same environment, and they were going everywhere together, traveling together, doing stuff, and he was completely out of my league, to be honest. I just had to find another way that I could get him, because these women who were constantly around him at work, on his business trips, they were, most of them, younger than me, more beautiful than me, skinnier than me, funnier than me, more well-educated than me. So I needed a plan that nobody else had. You need a strategy. Any vision that you have without a plan is just a dream. And if you are going to dream without a plan, any dream without a plan turns into a nightmare. So pay attention, and pay attention well to what I'm going to teach you. He seemed out of my league, and you have to find this man that's going to fight for you at every turn, because we have to choose for each other for the rest of our lives. The moment you say I do to somebody, it means that you choose for that person. It's the first step to choosing over and over and over and over. I remember when my husband had decided that I was the one, he had to go and tell his mother. And his mother had problems. I'm sure his mother had problems with my husband marrying me. First and foremost, I'm not Caucasian like him. Secondly, I was a little bit older than him, and I was already divorced, and I already had a child. And I can assure you that there are not a lot of mothers out there who are waiting for their golden boy to come home one day with a divorced woman slightly older than them. That was the first time in his life that he had to choose for me. You want to marry a man who will choose for you every time, because I'm telling you, in life, at every stage of life, no matter how old we become, we are presented with opportunities to choose or not to choose for our spouses, because we are all presented with opportunities to cheat on our spouse. And the moment you cheat on your spouse, you have chosen for the other person. You have not chosen for your spouse. So the first time he was presented with an opportunity to choose me was with his mother. And I tell you, mother-in-laws are tough. So you better make sure that you have played your cards well, and he's going to be choosing for you. I know mother-in-laws are tough because I have 2 sons. And guess what? I have already an idea in my mind what kind of women my sons are going to bring home. And I know deep down that I'm going to be disappointed, because it's going to be nothing like I have envisioned. So get a pen and paper. No, I'm joking. You don't need a pen and paper. What I'm going to tell you is simple and straightforward. What I used to do whenever we had a conversation, my husband and I, every time, maybe I think for the first 3 months, every time we had a conversation, I would delete his number. Every time he called me after we had a conversation, I would delete his number. Why? Because I wanted to make sure that he was always the one who initiated our conversations, and I needed to make sure that he was the one who was always hunting me down. And I also needed to make sure that I would not one day, in the spur of the moment, in the heat of the moment, maybe I'm out having a drink with my friends, and I feel I have something funny to tell him, and I call him up or I text him, and it's hard to do. Unless you delete his number, it is very hard to do, because you will always find a valid reason to call him or to text him. So delete his number, and if he's the one for you, guess what? He will call you. He will call you. Men don't play games. They don't play hard to get. When a man has decided, this is the woman that I want, he is gonna come after you. The problem nowadays is that women are just as aggressive as men too. They think they can help the man. No, I'm calling him, I'm initiating it because he's shy. He is not shy. He is not interested. When a man is shy, he will overcome his shyness. He will take the risk to be ridiculed to make contact with the woman that he needs. And anyway, you don't want to be with a man who does not have the nerve to walk up to you and chat you up, or the nerve to call you and text you, because they're so insecure. And if you marry this kind of man, you are going to be in a relationship where you are constantly be the one who's making decisions. And I tell you, it's not a good place to be in a relationship where you are the one constantly making decisions. You are going to marry a walkover. You are not going to marry a decision-making man, a man who takes control when you're in dire straits, when you're in dire situations. You do not want to marry that man. When a man is into you, maybe he will take 2 days because he's busy, maybe he will take 3 days because he's busy, but he will call you. Make sure that he has that feeling that he fought for you, and he's gonna choose for you every time. My favorite story in the Bible is Jacob and Rachel. Jacob had to work 14 years to get Rachel. This first 7 years, his uncle tricked him and gave him Leah, her sister, and he said, no, I want Rachel. And the uncle said, no, you have to marry, the older sister has to be married first. It's tradition. But if you want Rachel, you can work another 7 years and you will get her. And that's exactly what he did. And the 7 years flew by for him because he was so in love with Rachel. And guess what? Jacob married a lot of other women later on, and had a lot of other children also. But even when Rachel died young. When she died, her 2 children, Benjamin and Jacob, remained his favorite children from all his children. We all know about the story of Joseph, you know, the coat of many colors that Jacob made for his favorite son, who he had with Rachel. So this trick I've told you to implement, it is going to be something that will make that man choose for you every time he is presented with an opportunity to choose. He will choose for you because he worked, sweated tears and blood for you. And another reason is because this, if you implement this, he is always going to feel like he reeled in something impossible that was out of reach for him. If you make it very easy for him, you're never going to be his goddess. You are never going to be the best thing in his life. And guess what? Some people actually even get married to the wrong people because they initiated the whole thing. The woman initiated it, and men usually just feel flat. If you are available, they'll come with you. Sometimes they'll even marry you. But 5 years, 6 years down the line, you realize you married the wrong person. 10 years down the line, you've got a mortgage together, you've got children together, you've built a life together, and you realize you're actually with the wrong person. Sometimes people divorce. Sometimes people don't even divorce. They stay in that situation for the rest of their life. Why? Sometimes because they're Christian, sometimes they've got assets together. They all have their own reasons. But I think that's the worst place to be, to spend the rest of your life with the wrong person. And it is possible to marry the love of your life, that person who is constantly and always going to choose for you. Make sure that you do not call that man. No matter what you need to say to him, do not call him. After you have that conversation, delete his number. He will call you. Believe me, if he is the one, he will call you. Men are never intimidated when they want a woman. He's not intimidated. And if he does not call you, you will know immediately that he is not the one. He is not into you. And because we all have egos, if you have his number, guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna call him, and he's gonna say, oh, nice, let's go and have a drink, and you're gonna get into a relationship. He'll feel flattered, and the rest is history. You're gonna end up with the wrong guy. Delete his number. And by the way, if you liked this video, do me a favor, press the subscribe button below. And after you press the subscribe button below, you will see a little bell. Press the bell, and every time I upload a video, you will be giving a notification that something has come up, and I'm going to be putting up juicy videos. So subscribe to this channel. Share. You will really bless me if you share this video. Let's grow this channel together. I need you, and I'm going to make juicy topics for you, but please help me by sharing and pressing the like button. And if possible, I'd really appreciate it if you would even comment below. A lot of people send me comments through WhatsApp or through Messenger, but it's more important for me if you comment on the channel. That way my video gets more exposure on YouTube, because YouTube then knows that people are really interested in this topic. Thank you very much. God bless you. Remember, man is a hunter. Do not deprive him of that need. He needs to hunt something he truly will treasure later. That's why when he did not need to hunt anymore, he made hunting, he turned hunting into a sport. God bless you. Bye-bye.